Hello, second graders. This week we are focusing in science on the weather. We are going to be watching the weather and tracking it each day. Tracking the weather is important. It's important because weather, over periods of time, develops patterns. And so if we watch the weather and we take note of what's happening, we can recognize those patterns and we can plan for the future. There are specific scientists who watch the weather. Scientists who are dedicated to studying the weather are called meteorologists. So I might be calling you meteorologists this week because you are going to be watching the weather. What I would like you to do today and then every day this week is track the weather in a journal. I'm going to show you how to set this up. At the top, you'll write your name. I wrote Miss J's Weather Journal. If you want to decorate your page, you can. I just drew myself a little sun and a little cloud with some rain droplets. And then each day, you'll write the day of the week. Today will be Monday if you're watching this. And then there are a few different things that we're going to record. One thing we're going to record is the temperature. How warm or cold is it? Today for math, you're going to be watching, or maybe you already have watched a lesson on how to read thermometers and how we measure temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, which is what this little symbol and this F stand for. Now, this I filled out because I made this lesson before today. I filled it out about last Monday. Last Monday, the high was 69 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about the high temperature for the day. The highest the temperature would be, or the warmest it would be, was 69 degrees. The other thing that you're going to record is precipitation. Precipitation refers to any kind of material coming from the sky or the clouds. So typically, around this time of year, that's rain. However, if we were doing this in the winter, it could be sleet or snow. And then hail is another kind of precipitation, which you'll learn more about later in the week. Next to precipitation, so anything that comes from the clouds, I wrote none because on that day there was no precipitation. However, I wrote that there was a 20% chance. So what you might be doing as you fill out your weather journal each week, or each day, is have a parent or family member, if they have a weather app on their phone, or if you guys have television that you can watch the weather in the morning or the afternoon on the news, they usually tell you the percent chance that it is going to rain. On Monday last week, there was only a 20% chance, so that was very unlikely that it was going to rain. After precipitation, I would like to see if you could include wind speed. Wind speed talks about, you guessed it, how fast the wind is blowing. And it refers to mph, which stands for miles per hour. Just like we say a car is going 60 miles per hour, wind actually can also go 60 miles per hour, but that's very high. Wind blowing 60 miles per hour is almost like hurricane level. Actually is hurricane level. On Monday last week, the wind speed was 6 miles per hour. In parentheses, I wrote that it's calm because 6 miles per hour is a very gentle breeze. And then I wrote notes. And my notes were, I just looked outside. So these things you could fill out watching the weather on TV or using a family member's weather app. The notes, you just use your eyes. So I looked outside and I noticed that it was very cloudy and there was a gray sky. So something else you could include next to each day is maybe a picture. My picture for that day might have been like very gray clouds, but no rain. Some grass. And maybe some lines, some heat lines to show that it's warm. That could have been my picture for that day. Each day I would like you to write the day of the week, record the temperature, precipitation, wind speed, and then your notes. What do you see happening outside? What does the sky look like? So you'll see I did Monday, and then I have not done Tuesday yet. So if you would like to pause the video and set up your notebook with me, you can do that now by copying my page so far. Only next to Monday, you wouldn't have anything yet because we haven't looked yet. Next to the day, you will write underneath it temperature, precipitation, wind, speed, and notes. Something you could do if you wanted to is set up every day for the whole week right now, so that all you have to do each day is record the new information. So under the day of the week, I write temperature, precipitation. Remember, that's rain, snow, wind, speed, and notes. So you could set up your notebook for every day, or each day you can come back to this video, or just refer to the day before and write down the information that you're supposed to have. Now, if you find this very simple and you want a challenge, something you could do is on the page next to your weather journal, set up a graph to record the temperatures. This year you learned about pictographs, you learned about bar graphs. When you record temperatures or other information that happens over time, the best kind of graph to use is called a line graph, and that's what I have here. So you'll notice that I have my two axes. On the bottom, I recorded each day of the week. On Monday, it was 69 degrees, so I put a dot there. And then the y-axis, is degrees Fahrenheit. So I started at 35, and I made each line worth 5. I went all the way up to 80 because I figured it wouldn't be 80 degrees. And so each day you would plot a new point. If you have a family member that can help you with this, that would probably be good. Really, we don't learn line graphs until around 4th grade. So if you're going to try this, just know it's a little advanced. If you're up to the challenge, definitely go for it. Another thing you can do is just on your temperature every day, draw a shape over it so it really stands out. And then later in the week, you can refer to every star and see how the temperature changed over the week. Or you can try this method where you set up a graph that looks like this. At this point, you have all of the information you need from me in order to set up your weather journal. I am not going to ask that you post a picture of your journal until the end of the week. On Friday, you will have one science assignment that just says to take a picture of your weather journal and submit it. So, I think that's it. All right, I'm going to let you go so that you can set up your weather journal and record Monday's information. Remember, the key terms are temperature, precipitation, and wind speed. Okay, meteorologists, let's get to work.